welcome back to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Steve Swat. My guest this segment is Senator Noreen Evans, who you represent 6 North Bay counties. You're based in Santa Rosa. Thanks for being with us.
Nice to be here.
It's interesting. I think we all know that 70 state parks are slated for closure on July 1st throughout the state of California. Right. But what many of us don't know is that more than 20 happen to be in your district.
Right.
Which
it means my district is huge, for one thing.
Yeah, and you do have a large district.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about that, because the governor has said that one of his reasons for closing is that there should be a shared sacrifice among all state government agencies in terms of budget cutting. So,
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but sacrifice is something short of destruction. And basically, if you close a lot of these parks, that's exactly what will happen. And along the North Coast, which is in my Senate district, a lot of these small communities depend on the existence of that state park for their economy. That is most of their economy.
And yet, and yet the rationale has been closing those parks that are less economically efficient.
Well, you know, it's hard to tell what the rationale is. There wasn't any study done before the decision to close certain parks was made. There's been no transparent public process. It's very difficult to find out how the administration made the decision that it made to target these specific parks for closure. And the Parks Department will tell you that they're trying to save $22 million every year by closing these parks. But I would contend that that savings is really illusory. We're not going to be able to save that much money because of the economic impact in a lot of these communities. That means less revenue both locally and statewide.
Which segues nicely into some, new legislation, fairly new legislation that you have introduced that really hasn't started going through the process yet.
Right,
but it will. One bill would require those studies. I mean, environmental studies, how it affects the communities before you touch a park like that.
Exactly. That's SB 974. And what that bill does is it requires the administration to take a second look at this list of potential closures and requires them to perform the studies that I believe they should have done in the first place. It would require an economic impact study. It would also require any studies that are required under the California Environmental Quality Act. So that was never done. And we know that closing some of these parks, particularly those that are state forests, is going to lead to some environmental impact and perhaps some illegal activities that we don't want to see on state lands.
I know another bill, which could very well turn out to be more controversial, I suppose, is a long-term funding proposal that basically would, I guess, require the state to collect the money it's not collecting now.
Well, yeah.
Can you legislate that?
Well, actually, yes. The legislature can mandate state agencies to do certain things. The governor has to approve, obviously. But that would be SB 1078. And what this bill does is it tries to find a specific, sustainable source of funding for our state parks. Because over the last couple of decades, we have steadily reduced funding for state parks, and it shows. We've been deferring maintenance. We really, have not kept our state parks up to the level that Californians expect. So last year, there was a state audit done of leases that are administered by the State Lands Commission, and the state auditor discovered that there are many leases out there that are either, number one, not at market rate, or number two, rents are not even being collected, and these are monies that are owed the taxpayers. So what my bill would do is require the State Lands Commission to take that audit and go renegotiate those leases and collect the rents that California is owed, and take a portion of that money and commit it to parks.
Right. And there would be an initial $1 million loan, but that would be paid back to the general fund.
Yeah, because the State Lands Commission's position right now is they're understaffed, and they are. So this would give them enough money to get staffed up and do the job right.
Well, interesting legislation moving forward. We want to watch that because I think everyone values the state parks, and we'd hate to see many of them close down, but we also recognize the state's precarious finances. But Senator Evans, thanks for coming by and talking about this. We appreciate it. And thanks to our viewers for watching Comcast Newsmakers. We hope to see you next time.